channel. My name is Omowunmi, that African lady. Today on The Real Deal, we have a very special guest, my mentor all the way from the United States of America. She's also the founder of Adult Marriage. Keisha Bass will be talking to the singles, the engaged, and the married among us. Alright, so stay tuned.
Hey guys, question for you. Do you want to know what type of conversation you should be having before you get married? If so, hang out with me for the next few minutes as we explore this question. But before I move on, let me introduce myself. My name is Keisha Bass. I am the founder of Her Dope Marriage. I've been married for almost 31 years. We will celebrate 31 years in November. I am excited about marriage. This journey hasn't always been easy, but I will say this, my good days have definitely outweighed my bad days. So I'm excited to be talking with you guys on this afternoon about marriage. And before we dive into that question, the things that you should know before you get married, I want to talk a little bit about marriage and how it is a covenant, not just between your spouse, but with God. Understanding that God is the center of your marriage, understanding that He is the glue that's going to keep you together. Now, that's not to say that you won't have issues. That says that when you do have those issues, God is there in the midst. And it makes it just a little easier as you go through the challenges in marriage, okay? So just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what marriage is and understanding that it is, like I said, a covenant. It's not to be taken lightly. It is a process that you will continue to grow as you go over the years in marriage. We've been married for 31 years, and like I said, I am still growing. I am still learning and becoming who I'm supposed to be as a wife. One thing to remember is that marriage does not have to be perfect, but it must be a priority, okay? So let's dive back into that question. What do you need to know before you get married, or the conversation that you need to have with your potential fiance before you get married? So some of the things that you need to talk about are expectations, communications, and roles and responsibilities. So let's go back to expectations. Look, we all have expectations and assumptions before we get married. We go into marriage with those assumptions, with those expectations. But the problem is we don't verbalize them. It is so important that we take time to sit and talk about those things that we expect from one another. He doesn't know that you need him to do this. She doesn't know that you would like her to do that. We all, I think, feel as though the person should be able to read our mind, and that is not the case. We know that. So being intentional about having those conversations about what you expect in marriage is so necessary, as well as taking maybe about every 6 months, take a look at those expectations and reassess and adjust accordingly. You know, it could change. Let's say you get, after you get married, you have kids, some of the things that you expected before may change. And so go back, reassess, and adjust those expectations. It's necessary. Don't just set them at the beginning and then continue on, because as you get to year 10, you're still living off of those old expectations, and it's necessary to adjust, okay? The next thing is communication. Listen, communication is more than just words. Let me say that again. It is more than just words. Communication is your tone. It's your body language. It's what's not being said. It is so important that we understand that when we're communicating, we're communicating with our words and with our body language. So if our husbands ask the question, hey babes, is everything all right? And we say it with our words, but our body language says something otherwise, then that's an issue. So we need to make sure that we convey what we need to show or share with our spouse. So definitely communication is so important. It's an intentional act that you need to always realize the importance of verbalizing your feelings. And then even if there are concerns, making sure that you're intentional about sharing those things with your spouse. So communication is key. Then next is roles and responsibilities. This one, defining roles and responsibilities in your marriage is necessary, just to make sure that there are no issues and that it doesn't cause any problems further down the line. So talk about who's going to do what, who's going to take care of the finances, who's going to take care of the house chores, who's going to pick up the kids. All of that is so important and necessary when you're talking about roles and responsibilities. I think a lot of times when we look at roles and responsibility, it transitions from what we saw as growing up, or even couples that you are friends with now. You tend to think that though the things that they do are going to transition into your relationship, and that is not the case. No marriage is the same. It's not a one size fit all. What works for you works for you. So you have to adjust. So that's why having a conversation about roles and responsibilities, as well as decision making, so necessary to make sure that it keeps down confusion and frustration in your marriage. So let's recap: expectations, communication, and roles and responsibilities. Okay? Now, I was also asked to talk to the singles as well as newlyweds. So I want to give them some advice real quick on some of the things that you need to be doing in your singleness or as a newlywed. So let's look at singles first. Singles, I have 4 things for you on today. 4 things. Enjoy being single. Listen, marriage is coming. There's no need trying to rush it. Just enjoy being single and discover who you are as an individual. I won't say that it's too late to do all of that when you get married, because you're not just a wife, you're not just a husband, but it's important to know who you are before you get into the marriage, so that your spouse or your mate has time to pour into you or to glean from you. So discover who you are ahead of time. It's okay to take time to enjoy being single. Listen, you can volunteer, you can sleep as long as you want to, you can clean up when you want to. So being single, take advantage of that time now. Understand what it means to self-love, and take care of yourself. Take care of those things that is going to help you become the best authentic version of yourself. Okay? Next, get rid of any baggage. Look, this is so important. That baggage could impact your growth as a person. So being able to get rid of that, the hurt, the disappointments, the stress of the past relationship, the unforgiveness. Listen, get healed. Get healed, sis. Get healed, bruh. It's necessary to let all of that go, so that it's not a leech. It's not a weight when you go into your new relationship and when you get married. So it's unfair for that new person to have to pay for the sins of the past of someone else. So yeah, get healed. And if you can't do it by yourself, look, therapy is the new norm. It's not I don't see it as an issue for you to go and just have a conversation with a therapist, put it on the table, let them help you get healed so that you can be the best version of yourself for your potential spouse. Okay? Next, be present. Listen, it is okay to be in a relationship and be present, be in the moment. Look, I understand that you're looking to get married, and that is the end result. That is the end prize. Get in the ring on your finger, wanting to be a Mrs. or Mr. But at the end of the day, be present in that relationship so that person knows who you are and who you are becoming, and vice versa. Let's just say that it's someone that you're not happy with, and you don't know that until after you're married. That's because your attention was on the end goal and not right now. So yes, live in the moment, be present to get to know who that person is and who that person is becoming. And then finally, hang around positive married couples. I did say positive married couples. Being able to glean from other married couples has helped me and my husband in our marriage. You know, being able to hang out with people that are mature, not necessarily in age, but mature in their relationship. It has helped us grow. It has helped us uncover those things in our relationship that we need to work on. So yes, hang around positive married couples. So just to recap, singles, enjoy your singleness, discover who you are, get rid of any baggage, get healed, be present, and then finally hang out with positive married couples. All right, newlyweds, it is your turn. The first thing I will say to you is, do you have a vision statement for your marriage? If you don't, create a vision statement for your marriage. It should be specific and positive. That vision statement should not just be in your head. It should be written down so that you can see it. Without a vision, the people perish. So go ahead, write it down, sit down, have that conversation with your spouse, and talk about the goals that you have for your marriage. Look, it's not only about you. It's about those things that God has put into this relationship for you to plant a seed in others. So yes, create a vision statement for your marriage. Make sure that it is specific and positive, okay? And then next, marriage is not only about you. When I first got married, it is so funny. I assumed as I walked down the aisle that my husband would pick up on those things that I wanted in the marriage. And that wasn't the case, nor was that fair to him. So I had to learn that marriage wasn't always about me. I was selfish into thinking that that was the case. And I had to learn that his feelings, those things that he wanted, also matter in our relationship. So yeah, make sure that you understand that marriage is not all about you. All right. And then finally, never underestimate the power of prayer. Look, I said it earlier when I first started about God being in the equation. You know, it is so important that you understand the power of prayer, not just for your marriage, but having a personal relationship with God where you can go to him on your behalf or on the behalf of your marriage and just pray to him about some of the things that you see as a challenge that you need help with. Prayer has saved me in my marriage many times, and I'm so appreciative that God is a part of our marriage, that I find time every morning to spend time with him and commune with him as I speak to him about myself, about my personal growth, and about my marriage. Oh, and about those things that I need for him to help my husband with. You know, so that's one of the things that I love about prayer. If there's something that I need from my husband and I don't feel that I should go to him about, I don't want to cause tension or anything. So I take it to God first. And the next thing I know, that thing that I thought was a hindrance or an issue, so to speak, it was gone. And so that's why prayer is so important. So for newlyweds, 3 things: create a vision statement, marriage is not only about you, and never underestimate the power of prayer. Look, I've enjoyed talking with you guys on this afternoon. I hope you are able to glean something from this. If you have questions, let me know, hit me up. But until next time, you guys continue to be blessed and make sure you put God at the center of your marriage. Okay? Bye.